Good afternoon, everyone. Fast food is a cause of obesity thanks to its high sugar and fat content. Obesity is a growing occurrence in America, and many people, including myself, desire to reduce the obesity rate in America and in Illinois, which is around one-third. The prevailing method has been to educate children and their parents on healthy eating habits. However, is that the best option? It is not. It can, however, be used in conjunction with an excise tax on fast food. As it will be impossible to institute such a tax on the national level, the tax should be instituted on the state level. Therefore, legislation needs to be introduced into the Illinois General Assembly that will establish an excise tax on fast food. Now, for those non-residents of Illinois who are watching this video and you agree with what I put out and want an excise tax on fast food, simply contact your own respective state legislatures. This video is going to be geared toward Illinois because I'm an Illinois resident, and when I created this for a rhetoric project, it had to be locally, it had to be based off of it had to be a state-only issue, or it's basically couldn't go to federal level, and really pass in this current Congress. My desire to lower obesity rates comes from a desire to prevent obesity among my friends, my family, and myself. It is sensitivity to price changes that result from the excise tax that will affect the consumption of fast food. The tax revenue for the state, or your state, is just a bonus. The more sensitive a person is to price, the more likely they are to decrease their consumption of fast food in response to an excise tax on it. Speaking of the effect of the tax on people, let us look at who will be affected by this tax. But let's look first at how obesity affects whites, African Americans, and Hispanics in the state of Illinois. In the state of Illinois, African Americans and Hispanics are worse off in terms of obesity, with over 35% of them being considered obese, compared to the approximately 25 to 30% of whites in Illinois being considered obese. With that being said, the tax will appear to affect minorities more than the majority, but that is fine, because it's a good effect. It's very positive. The tax will result in higher prices of fast food, thus discouraging its consumption among the impoverished. Then they can be better able to spend their limited amount of money on food that will actually be healthy for them. And also, it would help if, those who can donate to, the shelters to help give them good food. And you see a homeless person on the street, give him or her a banana, a apple, something. That's something you can do to help. Speaking of healthy food, of which fast food generally is not, what determines which fast food restaurants should be subject to the excise tax can be determined by the nutritional value of the food, or in the case of fast food, the lack of. Since many fast food meals contain well over 50%, some near 100% of the recommended daily values of sugar, fat, and salt. These are the values the legislation should use to determine and test which restaurants will have the tax applied to, along with an average serving timer requirement, let's say 3 to 5 minutes. This is something those drafting law will need to greatly look at, and a quick introductory story for you. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Chicago and stopped down at the Dairy Queen, and I got a simple meal, chicken tenders, fries. Calorie count. It was over 1,000 calories. It's recommended that you only have, depending on your body size, either 2,000 to 2,500 calories. Now, while I didn't have the precise breakdown of it, that is a lot of calories for a single meal. Sure, maybe, it has to be up there a little bit in the hundreds for an average meal, but I do think over 1,000 calories is a bit on the extreme side. And then I got some ice cream there, some dairy there. Don't know if it's really ice cream, but anyhow, I didn't even want to know how much calories were in that. Probably a decent amount to say the sure. But let's continue on talking about the excise tax. With the quantity of fat, sugar, and salt being the determinants of what restaurants will be subject to the tax, the quantity of these substances should also be used to determine the excise tax rate. This is similar to the way cigarettes are taxed, which is 99 mils per cigarette. For those who don't know, a mil is the equivalent of 1/1000th of a dollar or 1/10th of a cent. Actually, this tax is, referring to the tax on cigarettes, is applied to both the consumer and producer, plus an additional sales tax of 6.25% of the purchased price. The excise tax on fast food can be set up in a very similar way, with the tax paid by both the consumer and producer for each gram of fat, sugar, and salt. This has the benefit that I will not terribly tax foods at a fast food restaurant that are actually healthy. In addition, if the General Assembly so desires, they can also establish a special sales tax on fast food to ensure the state receives more revenue. And if you don't live in Illinois, wherever your state legislature is called. Revenue that the state can use to subsidize healthy eating options, to subsidize medical research into preventing and curing health problems caused by obesity, and to subsidize educational programs about healthy eating. These are the necessary uses for the revenue of a fast food tax, even if the state decides not to place an additional sales tax, because the use of a tax's revenue can affect the support the tax receives. If people and legislatures support what the revenue will be used for, then they are more likely to put their support behind the tax. As most people support medical research and educating healthy children on eating, well, it's good to educate healthy children on eating, but educating children on healthy eating, it is safe to say that many people will be willing to support this tax. Support on subsidies is a bit harder to gauge, but if healthy people support the other two, it's more likely they'll support subsidizing healthy eating options as well. How can this be accomplished? Well, there's really only one way. That is, the Illinois General Assembly or your respective state legislatures will need to pass a law establishing and authorizing such an excise tax. Now, this is where you come in. What you can do is write and call your representatives in the General Assembly or your respective state legislature, expressing your support of such legislation. In addition, you can sign one or more petitions. If you're interested, I have linked below a change.org petition that's addressing this topic. Before I let you go, please consider responding to the survey linked in the description and also signing my petition. It is my petition, by the way. Also, you can go down and comment down below what you think. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think of a excise tax on fast food. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some negative feedback on this, so I'm prepared for all you negative commenters and trolls. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below. Check me out on social media, consider supporting me on Patreon, and feel free to visit my website and any of my other YouTube channels. Links are in the description down below. Subscribe to my channel for future content. Have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Have a good one.